Hello and welcome. My name is Bashir Fadl, but on behalf of LearnITCoursesOnline.com as well as LearnJobsOnline.com, I'd like to thank you. We do know that you have a variety of choices of IT training, and you've chosen us, so we really appreciate that and hope that you enjoy it. Thank you. As we're developing our content, we have to remember that content development and publication requires a scientific approach. The content we publish on our website needs to be highly relevant to the user's needs. It also needs to be visually interesting and easy to parse. Indeed, there are so many factors to play, and site owners need to take a scientific approach to content production and publications. Consider 1 to 1.2 of all index pages are responsible for 68% of all of website traffic. It should be clear why a scientific approach is necessary to attract to our site. The best content marketers consider many things when approaching every piece of content that we present. If you were to walk into a mall and see a store with clothing in it, you might have never heard about the store before, but the way they present their clothing and the mannequins and the lighting, that is going to attract you. Similarly with the website, the way the content is developed and presented makes a very big difference. And that's why we're going to discuss the ingredients of a top performing content. Content is the feature that tickles the customer's curiosity. We need to capture the attention of visitors so they convert into paying customers. So how do we do that? With a platform that's rich in quality content, content speaks to customer needs and demonstrates brand value. The best content simulates interest, solves a problem, and leaves customers wanting more. It establishes our reputation as an industry expert. Generating consistently top-performing and high-ranking content can seem overwhelming. It's easier than we think. For example, number one, we want to be concise, stay focused, eliminate confusing or extraneous ideas. Number two, be engaging. Win over readers with the fundamentals. Then introduce them to new insights about related challenges readers haven't considered. In other words, help them overcome those challenges. Number three, answer your reader's question. To level up your content game, you have to write copy that delivers answers better than competitors. Next, quote industry experts. Quotations, statistics, and studies add credibility to our content. Next, be adaptable and agile. So we tweak our content based on customer interactions and behavior. Next, write for your audience. Knowing your audience is key to winning them over. Next, link to high domain authority sources. Websites with high domain authority, known as DA, serve as sources trusted by readers. Next, learn to write for scanners. Studies show that people don't read online print. They scan it, they glance through it. You have mere seconds to win them over, so use short sentences. And also, hook them with one sentence paragraphs. A very important piece of developing our content is storytelling. So let's use storytelling to educate while entertaining. Potential customers Google our service more likely while they're sipping their morning coffee. Then they visit your website. They admire your attractive design and scheme, the intuitive layout. Their minds wander. They glance at other browser tabs. They consider clicking a competitor's link. However, then they spout your About Us section and wonder, what can this company do for me? They pursue your team's qualifications impressive, they think. Conveniently, they find a significant section of pull quotes from satisfied customers called testimonials. They sound happy, so the visitor thinks as well and reflects on that. Then you notice your free resources page. They watch videos, download useful infographics and ebooks. They read your call to action. This is exactly what they need. As they exclaim, you've won them over. For leading content providers, this happens every day. it can happen to you as well. The best content creators use compelling storytelling to captivate readers and sell their message, to explain problems and solutions through the relatable narrative. They also remember to use analogies, humor, emotion to make their stories memorable. So tell a few stories. Don't just get lost in the weeds. You're not writing War and Peace. You still have to get to the point. We need to know our target audience. For instance, if we're building a website for a real estate agency that targets luxury homes with the least being at $1 million and more, then we need to make sure that we're designing for that audience. If we're targeting lower income homes, we want to make sure we're targeting that audience. If we sell clothing for women only or women apparel only, then we want to target that audience specifically. The best content marketers consider many things when approaching every piece of content, especially target audience. Who will get the most use of the content? What are the pain points? What are they in the buying process for? What content formats do they prefer? What social media marketing channels do they respond to? Those are all pieces that we need to reflect on as we are building our content and targeting our audience. Especially in a business, we develop our content on the website so as to ensure that we have customers, that our leads are converting to paying customers. So the process of acquiring customers and then engaging them and then retaining them and then converting them becomes very important. Commercial goals. What conversion action should the readers take? How can we measure the impact of our content? So that is important to consider while we're developing our content. Certain products are related to certain categories. If I'm thinking about something that's environmental friendly, I'm looking for words such as sustainability. If we're looking for alternative energy and we're looking for a car or something, we're looking for electronic vehicle, for example. So keywords play a very important role when we're developing our content. For example, questions to consider are, does the content use language that users actually search for? Do pages competing for similar keywords offer greater depth and breadth of subject matter expertise? So always think of the keywords related to the content that you're developing. An important part of content development is branding, that you want to have that brand. For instance, if you're looking to buy something sports related and you see that Nike sign, quality comes to mind. Just do it comes to mind. That's the brand. If you're looking for cars and you see that Tesla sign, you're thinking of the future. You're thinking of electric cars, electric vehicles. That's the brand. So as you're building your content, you want to build a brand. You want to set a tone. So the question to ask is, does the content conform to the brand's voice? A big part of content development is visuals, the pictures, the graphics that we put in there. If I am a wedding planner, do I want to put pictures of funeral, for instance? Is that going to set the right tone or absolutely the wrong tone? So visuals are important, and questions we need to ask as we're developing visuals for our content is, does the imagery and typography reflect the brand? Does it align with the written content? An important piece of the content development is calendar, creating a content calendar. So questions we can ask are you tired of missing deadlines? Create a content development calendar. To optimize our results, we need to map out a schedule of what content to post, how often to post, and specific dates of the postings. This is an excellent planning tool that will give our team a centralized source to track content progress over multiple platforms. It's also a great way to quickly visualize the amount and types of content we're putting out this week, this month, and this year. Without a calendar, we risk duplication or even worse, creating gaps in essential content. Calendars also help our plan from milestones so we make the most of important events and holidays. Suppose we have a retail store, then we want to plan milestones such as Memorial Weekend, back to school, season and Christmas shopping, times that are important for us to update our content and make sure that we are optimizing that development based on the calendar. We might have a store, but we notice our customers go to the next store, which is our competition. We might have a restaurant and have wonderful service, but there's a reason why our customers go next door to the next restaurant. So a big part of developing our content is studying and understanding the competition. So we need to stay relevant by analyzing the top competitors and understand their best practices. We also need to determine what our competitors are lacking and how we can step in to fill that void. Another important piece is we're there to solve a problem. So don't give visitors any reason to bounce away to the competition. Become that genie that serves. In other words, we need to ask our audience for their wish list and start granting them. What is one thing that's very important in content development that would attract a lot of customers? It's free content. So we need to develop free content for our visitors. For example, educate readers using tangible download files, which are actionable tips and helpful tools that they can use. Teach them a skill so they feel empowered and grateful. Why should you provide free content? Well, here are some reasons. Number one, downloads are portable. If visitors don't stay on our page, they can revisit the PDF later. It establishes that we are an expert. Who else could develop such an authoritative white paper? It expands our network. Downloads are easy to share, spreading word of mouth. And guess what? That downloaded document has the link to your website, and it should have your logo as well. So as we can see, content development is very important to our website and takes a lot of creativity. So in addition to all of these considerations, content marketers also think strategically about which platforms to publish content to, what social channels to promote that content on, the best time of the day to publish content, and much more. So our website is probably the most important and powerful marketing tool that we have. With plenty of care and strategic thinking, it becomes our biggest source of business growth. So let's take what we've studied and put it into good use. Best of luck with your content development. With this, we come to the end of this session, and we'd like to thank you for joining us. And also, don't hesitate to visit our website at learnitcoursesonline.com to leave your feedback and reviews. And also look at our events. We have a lot of free sessions, and we'd be more than happy to have you join at any given time, and also sign up with us for our newsletter. Thank you and have a wonderful time.